All right, we're here today. Sitting down with the one of the champions and legends of rugby league, and some people could call the bad boy of rugby league, Chris Walker. Welcome to the Rich Life Projects, brother.
Rich, I've heard a lot about it, mate. I've known you for a long years, mate. So pumped to be sitting here talking about my life, but yeah, I can't wait to delve in there and get into some deep, dark places,
we got
mate.
some deep stuff. The bad boy of rugby league. What's been happening lately anyway, of late?
Mate, been very busy of late. Yeah, we've just launched our vodka, premium vodka out of the Gold Coast, Australian vodka. We launched that last November.
Yep.
So the height of COVID, everyone sort of got into the habit of the bad habits of drinking. And we're just doing that, and then obviously Fund My Challenge.
Yep.
Yeah, we raise money for charities, foundations, and people in need.
Yep.
It's funny that you mentioned come from a bad boy to raise some money for people and charities is a little passion project for me. So been pretty busy. And also got the 3 kids and the wife at home too. So
busy. So obviously the Fund My Challenge, it's everything sort of happening with that, raising money for the kids and all different charities, as you say. What's sort of coming up in the future for that at the moment? Yeah,
we've got obviously, with all the stuff that's been going on with mental health, the late Paul Green, who I played a lot of footy with at Origin.
Very sad,
We've got the Freeze Off Challenge, which we did last year. We launched that last year and then, mate, 5 days prior to Paul Green taking his life, one of our other mates, Michael Purcell, who I played football with, when I came back and played for the Jets, an Indigenous kid. So talented, had the world at his feet. Could do things on the footy field that not many other kids could do, and unfortunately he took his own life 5 days before Greenie. So a really good challenge coming up. It's for mental health, and I didn't know this until last year. We launched this challenge last November. It's called Freeze Off. It's a Freeze Off challenge. So go have an ice bath or a cold shower for 40 seconds of your day because, man, I didn't know this. The statistic around the world that every 40 seconds, someone around the world takes their own life.
That's crazy, isn't it?
Mate, that's a really big one that we've got coming up. We've got another couple of golf challenges coming up, 24-hour golf challenge.
Oh, yeah? What, playing golf for 24 hours?
Yeah, playing on it. We're just working it all out with Drummond Golf at the moment. Big swing that, we go in, we play on their simulators for 24 hours, so rain, hail or shine.
Oh, okay, so it's not out in the golf course.
It's not out in the golf course. I actually want to do one out in the golf course. I've been thinking about that for a long time. That's just a challenge that I want to do. 24 hours.
What happens at the night,
well, there's going to be plenty of 19 holes. Yeah, well, there's a golf course on the Gold Coast. I think that Emerald Lakes do floodlights.
Oh, do they?
Yeah, so they play night golf. So that's
cool.
one of the passions that I want to do.
Yeah.
So we've got that going at the moment, and then we've got another. We just finished. Benny Hennett just did a 42-kilometre row on a Concept 2 rower, and we end up raising about 60 or 70,000 just on that morning. So Benny Hennett. Yeah, especially on the Gold Coast. He's involved with obviously CFM, the local radio station up there. He's been on there for a number of years, and the stuff that Benny does for that community up there.
Wow, really?
Is phenomenal, mate. So,
and he just got out of the fight with Justin Hodges before.
And he's just about to go into a fight with
Paul Gallen. Yeah, wow, that's crazy. That's crazy. So a lot happening up there.
Mate, we'll see how that one pans out.
We'll have to definitely tell me about the 24-hour golf thing because I'll definitely be up for that one.
Yep.
I love the old golf. But we're going back to growing up. Yep. So you got the 2 brothers,
3 brothers,
3 brothers,
yes,
and yourself. So what was growing up like in the Walker family?
Rich, it was I had the best upbringing that any kid could ever ask for. I lived just outside of Toowoomba, which is about an hour and a half, 40 minutes west of Brisbane. Yeah, I grew up without a TV. Never had a TV for. I think it was about 11 years, 12 years growing up. We had we had horses, we had motorbikes. And then obviously growing up with 3 brothers, Ben, Shane, Ben's the elder, Shane, then me, then Luke. And then we had, the Vols boys, they lived across the road from us. They young fellas around my age, a bit younger than me. Yeah. So we always had something to do.
Yeah, wow.
And you know what, Rich, mate, like now, I've got 3 TVs in my house, and I hate it because you know what my kids do? Come home from school, either jump on a device or they watch TV. And as a kid, when I grew up, the first thing we did when we got home was put our school bags in our room.
Yeah, 100%.
And we're outside until the sun went down. And
100%.
Now, back when I was a kid, Mum and Dad used to have to come outside, find us. First and full, find us because we're down the paddock or making a golf hole or playing cricket during the summer or playing footy during the winter.
Yeah.
Mum and Dad actually had to come and threaten us to go inside, to get inside. Now I've got to tell the kids, listen, I'm going to give you a smack in the ass if you don't actually go out, find a park.
Times have changed,
Times have changed.
It's just a technology world we're living in, and it's, for us, oldies, so to speak, and when I say oldies, we're only in our 40s, but it's just the times has changed so much.
They haven't, you know? And obviously AI and all the stuff, what we're seeing with kids and mobile phones and how, especially during COVID, like it all changed. So, mate, I always encourage my kids to go, you know, play down. We've got a footy field just around the corner from our place. So, you know, I say to my young fella Chase, and Nala, that's Chase's twin. Yeah, she's into a footy as well, in tag and touch. That's and then my oldest one, Harper, she's 14. She's into the footy as well. So my kids, I don't really have to entice them to go outside too much because they. Watching their nephews and watching their cousins and playing netball and running and playing sport. So they're very active, my kids. But mate, since when I grew up, it's totally different, isn't it? It's totally different.
So they're growing up, obviously out in Toowoomba area. It was all good growing up in regards to that. When you so where did the career start with the rugby league side of things? Was it in Toowoomba or had you moved to Brisbane or?
No, we'd I had the beauty of obviously having Ben come through.
Yeah,
my dad was a fair football player when he was young. He played in the Brisbane comp. That's when in the 70s and 80s. That's when the Brisbane comp was peak, and that's when you had your Wally Lewis, your Greg Kaneskis, your Smoking Joe.
Like they weren't in the NRL.
No, they weren't in the. They weren't in the New South Wales Rugby League. The New South Wales used to come up and poach a lot of our players, and that's where the whole rivalry between Queensland and New South Wales was bred because. Back in the day, New South Wales used to come up and take our players, put them in a Blues jersey, and then thrash us. Before the concept of Origin in 1980, and that's the year that I was born. So, I grew up there. I had Ben and Shane. Obviously, they were the older brothers. So my pathway into being picked up by the Broncos was sort of forged by Ben and Shane because a guy, Cyril Connell, one of the greatest talent scouts going around, and is regarded still today. He picked up Ben, when Ben was about 15 or 16, he had a bit of talent. And then obviously he's looked through the brothers and went, I've got Shane coming through, Chris coming through, and then Luke coming through. So my pathway into first grade was a little bit easier than most guys who have to, it was easier than what Ben had it because even when I was grade 9, I was coming down watching Ben play first grade, so I was knocking around with Wendell and knocking around with El. I knew those players on a personal level before I even got down there. So it was my transition from school into playing first grade was probably a lot easier than what other guys got. But I come from a family of 4 boys. Just
rugby league sort of blood anyway.
And then my mother, her brother Paul Mills, he used to play for Queensland Reds. He was playing Union. So the bloodline
was full on in there, wasn't it?
It was, mate.
So you played obviously for past brothers in the Queensland Cup.
Yep.
Going into that, I think it was said that you're playing with past brothers plus playing with the Broncos.
We're playing. Brothers was our feeder club. So if you didn't make your first grade, the top 25. If you're a fringe top 25, you go back, you play reserve grade. And Brothers was our club. Then we went to the Toowoomba Clydesdales. So I was fortunate enough to go back and have a few games with the Clydesdales. Where it all started for me. In Toowoomba. And then just kicked on from there and. I think 99 I debuted.
99
against the Sharks.
Against the old Sharkies.
Yeah, against the Sharkies. I remember playing in that game because my idol growing up and still to this day is Stephen Oof. I love him. I think he's the most gifted player that I love him. He's my great player. I still get photos. How embarrassing this. I fangirl him all the time. Every time I see him, I always get a photo with him. Anyway, I debuted that game because Steve Renouf was out.
Yeah, okay.
So I was 18th man.
Yep.
And then I think 2 days or 3 days, or it might have been captain's run 2 days before the game.
Yep.
Steve Renouf had to pull out because I think he might have had a hamstring injury, and then Wayne gave me a start.
Yeah, right.
And I remember playing, another guy I used to love watching play football was David Peachy.
Oh,
and I remember we got beaten that game. I remember Gordon's debut. I remember Gordon made a bit of a break.
Yep.
And I come off him, and he's popped the ball to me off. Like, we were probably 15 minutes coming out of our line.
Yeah, right.
And I thought, here we go. I'm going to score a 70-metre try here. Next minute, Dave Peachy just comes up.
Wow.
Just a big go-go gadget hand just grabs me by the back of the neck and just reaches me to the ground.
Really?
I remember it as clear as day.
You thought you were away.
I thought I was away, mate. I thought, yep, how cool is this? Dream. In my head, I still remember it. In my head, I like, dream debut. I'm going to get the ball. I'm going to score. I'm going to go 70 metres. You can't
beat that.
Next minute, Dave Peachy just goes, nah, wrong.
He was a great player too for the Sharkies too.
Yeah, he was a terrific player. Phenomenal. Just a real gifted football player. And I used to love watching Dave play. It was unreal. He's like Preston Campbell, those guys.
Oh, mate.
Awesome.
He's coming along too. Even Preston Campbell, but his son.
Yeah, Jade.
Playing for the Gold Coast.
I love watching him play.
Yeah, so do I.
He's just a football player.
Yeah, he steps. His vision for the game. He's real. For a young talent, very gifted. Yeah, I love watching him too. And what's you're playing for Brisbane. Obviously, you played for a few clubs in the NRL, but being Queenslander, playing for Brisbane.
Yep.
Once you're in the side, the first grade side, and then you are with the Wendell Sailors, and I think you'd done a stint with your brothers as well there at one stage. What's the obviously as a young man, what's the feeling and the mindset in regards to going, well, here I am, because a lot of rugby league youngsters, they get to the first grade, and it's like fighting. They're fighting around the regional scenes. They make it to the UFC or the big company, and then they think they've made it already, And then obviously, it's all about, I play for the Broncos or I fight for the UFC, and they're out there looking for free stuff, or they're loving their sort of situation. What was it like for you?
Well, Rich, it was different, I guess, from other clubs because we had Wayne Bennett.
Yeah, I was going to say,
so Wayne Bennett,
the master of all coaches.
He's the master, and technically, he probably isn't the best coach that I've ever had. I could probably give that to Craig Bellamy, the way that he pulls the teams apart.
Yeah,
but Wayne would never let you get ahead of yourself.
And
if he did, he'd be very, very quickly to pull you back to earth. So there were times there where you had to have a good conversation with myself, or and the thing is, I was knocking around with Wendell too. So
back in those days, I think there was a few things coming out about Wendell.
And Wendell was full of confidence. So
he was a big lad too. So
and an even bigger personality. So you'd, as a young kid, you're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. You're looking up to Wendell Sailor, and he's mouthing off at players on the other team. But he could, because he'd playing for Australia, playing for Queensland, probably the best winger in the comp. So you get caught up with a bit of shit talk.
100%.
100%. And then Wayne will go, listen, Chris, you're shit talking Andrew Ettinghausen. Come on, pull your head in. Or one of the other greats of the game, like Walks. You played 5 games.
Wendell Sailor was doing it.
Wendell was doing. I remember playing against the Newcastle Knights, and I was playing centre, and Wendell was playing on the wing.
Yep.
And Joey threw a cutout ball to his winger, but the winger didn't catch it, and it actually hit the linesman.
Oh, did it?
Right?
Wow.
So they were walking to the scrum, and Wendell's mouthing off at him. And I used to love Joey. I still love Joey.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
He was mouthing off at Joey.
Yeah.
And Joey's flung around. He thought it was me.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, no, it was Wendell. It was Wendell. No. I'm looking at him going, no, it was Wendell.
Yeah.
Don't come at me, mate. Don't come at me. I'm only 9.
Send all the boys in.
So, but playing outside of Wendell was good. And thing about Wendell, he didn't take himself too serious.
Yep.
And he used to pay himself out. Used to rip into the teammates. But that was all about the team morale back then. It was all, build a bit of culture.
That's right.
Not players not taking themselves too serious.
Too seriously,
Which, you need that, especially in a high intensity.
Testosterone, a lot of men.
And also too the pressure,
league.
the high pressure of the game, and the spectators.
Yeah.
It was just good to go to train and have Wendell just pay out. Like he used to give it to Wayne.
Yeah,
He used to give it to,
right.
you know, from the youngest to the oldest player, you weren't safe.
Yeah,
because Wendell would just tee off on you.
Yeah, really.
So, but it was good. It was all in good jest and good banter, but it also brought you back down to earth, and it also took that pressure, the high pressure that you're always going to have playing first grade away from, because you just, your mind would go somewhere else, and you'd
100%.
Just take yourself.
But being under Wayne, like a lot of people say, you know, Wayne Bennett's one of the best coaches, which he is in the NRL. But just having that sort of having that blessing of being under him as a player. You know, that would be, you know, definitely something special, as you say, when he's got that sort of skill of bringing you back down to earth. You know, when you think you're getting too far ahead of yourself.
He's been doing it for 100 years, so I was
going to say, I think he is close to 100, isn't he?
I think he's 107. I think. I think he's the oldest coach in history of any sport.
Yeah,
at the elite level, but. But, you know, I had a good relationship with Wayne. Obviously, Wayne coached my dad.
Yeah, back
in when Dad was playing in the Brisbane Cup.
Okay, yeah, right.
81, 82, he was playing. Dad went to Brothers and Wayne was the coach. So, you know, we had that relationship with Wayne too. So,
straight up. So you debuted 1999 against the Sharks, obviously. The year 2000, Broncos won the premiership. You weren't in the team?
No, I was injured. I was out injured.
From what was the injury?
I think I had syndesmosis on my right ankle.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
Yeah. High ankle sprain.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so we... that
would have been a bit of a bummer, seeing the boys sort of win that premiership, and then you're sort of like, I'm not in the team. But obviously being still involved because you're in the first grade.
I still partied like I won the cup.
100%. Party like tomorrow.
Yeah.
So in 2001, you travelled with the Broncos to England.
Yep.
In what they class as the World Club Challenge. What's that experience like? Obviously, it's like the grand final of grand finals between England and Australia.
Yes.
And so you did get a start in that.
I got a start in the game. I was on the bench.
Yep.
So Justin Hodges was actually the 18th man.
Oh, okay.
I was in the team, but on the way over, I actually got a boil on my right leg. And
no way.
Yeah, like my leg got pretty infected.
Yeah.
And Wayne said to me before the game, he said, "I'm not going to play, so I'm going to put Hodjo in it in your replacement." But I was over in England anyway.
Yeah.
And it was a 2-week piss up. It was unbelievable. Like, I think we got Wayne on the drink one night.
Really?
Yeah. I think we're over there for about 14 days. I think we drank for 13 of them.
Really?
Yeah.
So those sort of things, when you see our clubs who win the premiership go over, that's because you've gone all year absolutely hell for leather.
Yep.
You win the premiership, which is the goal of all Australian rugby league players, is win a grand final, so to speak. So realistically, going to England to play their best is really only just go over a bit of a holiday at the same time.
It was a team morale building exercise.
Okay.
Like they were about. I think they might have even played maybe 2 or 3 of their rounds, and we hadn't even started the season yet.
Oh, right.
So it was more like a trial match.
Yeah. Okay.
And I remember Wayne picking me.
Yep.
Anyway, it was freezing. It was that cold. I remember sitting on the bench, and this is the thing. I never even got to play.
Yeah.
I sat on the bench for 80 minutes, and Wayne didn't put me on.
Oh my God!
I was filthy
and freezing.
So I was by the end of the match because you're so cold over there. Every 5 minutes, Craig Bellamy, he was our trainer.
Okay.
And he was assistant coach. He used to go, righto, every 5 minutes, come on, boys, we're going to warm up.
Yep.
So I'd warm up at one end of the field.
Thinking you might get a run
Thinking I'm going to get on. And you know what the English fans are like? They're crazy. They hammer you.
Yeah, 100%.
By the end of it, I had 5 minutes to go and I still hadn't been on, and they were hammering me. When are you getting on, you loser? And then, when are you getting on, you loser? Like they were hammering me. Oh, you're not even getting on. You've come all the way from Australia. You're not even getting on the field. And they just hammered me. And I was like, righto. And then after the game, Wayne walked over and said, "Oh, mate, listen, I'm sorry. I remember being a little bit disappointed, a bit filthy on it.
100%.
I travelled all that way, but he goes,
it's a big occasion
because he was going to take me. He was going to obviously when my leg got infected, the doctor actually said to him, and I didn't know this.
Yeah.
And I sat down with the doctor, and he goes, "I know. I told Wayne not to put you on." And he said because he said because it's a contact sport, it's a brutal sport.
Yeah.
If someone hits you hard and it bursts in there, and the pus goes in, he said it could infect your whole system.
Oh, really?
Could have got into your bloodstream. This is what the doctor told me. I don't know how true it is. I just went, oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
But apparently, if I had it because it was pretty badly infected.
Yeah, true.
Like it was huge. Like it was
really.
Yeah, it was massive.
Wow.
I had it strapped up and everything. And then he goes, mate. He said, I couldn't I told Wayne not to put you on.
Oh, really? That's a bummer, yeah.
Yeah. So, but I still got to party like it was.
Yeah.
Oh, mate,
it wasn't tomorrow.
We had so much fun. That trip, I vividly remember everything. It was crazy.
Yeah, they're good memories to die for, those ones, I think.
And also, too, being a young kid from Toowoomba, hadn't travelled business class before, so obviously, being a World Club Challenge, I think, we flew business class, and I thought I was a duck's nuts. I was like, it was all paid for. Everything was just laid on.
I've reached the top.
I've reached the top, baby. I've got my Broncos jacket on. I've reached the top.
Yeah.
I'm hanging around with the first graders, and then obviously, that year was a pretty successful year for me. So I come back and played Origin in 2001.
Yeah. So some of the before the Origin sort of games, obviously some of the teams you've played for: Brisbane Broncos, Sydney Roosters, South Sydney Roosters, Sydney Roosters, Gold Coast Titans, Catalan Dragons. We'll get into Parramatta Eels and the Ipswich Jets. So your final year in the Broncos, you're one of the top try scorers for the season, I think, with Darren Lockyer and
I think it was
Lottie
Dakiri and Lockie.
And Lockie. So that's your final year with the Broncos, and you leave the Broncos to go to South Sydney.
Yes.
Was that finishing with the Broncos? Was that like a contract finishing up, or you wanted a change? Or
we'll see what happened. In 2000, I think it might have been 2001 or 2002, I started seeing a girl from Sydney.
Oh, okay.
And she was a soap star. She was on Home and Away, and we sort of got it tangled up, and I probably wasn't thinking with the right head, and I left and went down to Sydney for the wrong reasons. Right. Looking back at it as a 42-year-old, I should have stayed under Wayne. I had the opportunity to stay at Wayne.
Okay.
I signed a contract with South Sydney for $350,000. And, as a 22-year-old, that sort of money being thrown at you. 100%. Broncos offered me, I think at the time, Broncos offered me $250,000.
Yeah.
But because I had the girl down in Sydney and wasn't probably thinking, like I said, wasn't thinking with the right head, and I just went down there, made all the wrong decisions, and my family, who I'm very, very close with, my three brothers and my mum and dad, we're very, very tight, and going down there wasn't the right thing. Shane, my brother, he ended up following me down there. I actually gave some of my money to Shane, some of my contract money to prop his. Like they gave him a good contract, but just to prop him up as well. But we went down there. It just wasn't. Just didn't. I was there for 6 months, and South Sydney.
You only had the 5 games with South.
With South, and then I left. There was some contract things that people don't know about that I was having disputes with South, and just went, you know what, this is not working for me. You can have your money back, and then I ended up signing with
the Roosters.
The Roosters,
went on to the Roosters,
which at the time, Rich, because I was from Queensland, I didn't know the rivalry between South and Roosters was really thick.
Yeah, right.
And the death threats that I was getting when I was at South.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Like when you left Souths, the details that are out there is with the death threats, and tell us some of those death threats. Like that's crazy. I mean, you can understand like AFL, NRL. There's certain fans that just go above and beyond with stupidity of death threats and all these sort of things. But once you're saying once you left South, so that's when the death threats, because you went to Sydney Roosters, which were, not knowing to you, the rivals of Sydney.
That's right. They're both sort of half eastern suburbs,
South
teams.
And east,
So this is like, we see it with social media now with these kids now. What they're getting tossed at, nothing to compare to what my death threats were.
Really,
and I'm not saying that to be a big hero, but back then, it was these guys actually sat down. I don't know who they were or how many they were. But there was all up about 12 or 13 death threats that I was getting from different guys. Telling me that they're going to shoot me, stab me, kill me, whatever.
Right.
So, I know that
and still being young 20-year-old, whatever age. But
I remember getting them. I remember the first one I got. I remember thinking, one of the boys is playing a prank here.
Yeah, right.
And I didn't really know how to deal with it because the NRL don't have what they've got set up with their players now. And like I said, with social media, everyone's a journo. Everyone's got an opinion. Everyone can be heard.
100%.
And, you know, I hate it when I see, I think there was that Jackson Paulo from South Sydney just recently.
Yeah.
Julia Robinson from the Brisbane Broncos. She got trolled.
Yep.
Like these guys, like, come on, wake up yourself.
Yeah,
but like what Wayne Bennett said to me, if you let it affect you, it's going to affect you.
I think that Taylor Harris had it
with
down
the
here
AFL,
with the AFL with the kick.
Yeah,
you know, like everyone went just.
But there's always going to be the fuckwits.
Yeah, there's 100%.
Like
you're always going to have the haters.
Always going to have the haters, and that's what Wayne Bennett said to me. He goes, I rang him because I was a little bit disturbed by it. I said, like, obviously spoke to my dad and my mum about it. Mum was a little bit concerned. We didn't really go into too much detail with her, but I remember sitting to Dad and talking to me. His dad's like, listen, Chris, they're not going to, nothing's going to happen to you. They're not, no one, the NRL, the Coppers are not going to let this happen to you.
That's right.
And I just remember ringing Wayne. I said, Wayne, this is what's happened. He said, yeah, I've heard about it. He goes, what they say, told him. He goes, mate, I don't know if he meant to say this, but it certainly didn't help my nervousness. He said, the ones that write it to you, he said, they're not the ones that you got to worry about. He said, the ones that keep quiet are the ones you got to worry about. And I said, fuck. I said, mate, I'm playing in front of 40,000 people. I said, there's only been 12 of them. So does that mean that there's 39,988 people that want to kill me?
Yeah, especially these youngsters thinking going out in the field going, is there going to be a sniper in the stands or something? Like,
one of the ones was, I'm going to shoot you. I'm going to shoot you this week at the game. So I'm playing.
Yeah, wow.
I'm playing on the wing, and I'm thinking, am I going to catch the ball there and just get shot? Like, how
was the mindset on that? Because one, you got to full concentrate on what the game plan, the game is.
Yep.
In the back of your mind, then you got some, you know.
Then you got the back of the mind thinking, hang on,
is this dude going to actually shoot me?
Is this guy here with a gun, or is this guy going to? On my way out, so I had to get a police escort to my car. You know, but I just remember thinking to myself, like, you know, what Wayne said. He said, you know, like, don't worry about it. There's just some twisted human beings out there that are, you know, got that mindset. He said, mate, they're the ones that send the message to you. They're the ones that you don't have to worry about.
It's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because down here, like, in Melbourne, the AFL fanatical fans, like when you go to a live game, they go crazy. I mean, they're crying. They're literally like, if they lose a game, they're crying. If they get scored against, they're telling those players that
they're useless. Like,
I'm going to kill you. Like, he goes berserk, man. And I'm only just new to the AFL crowd, and I'm just looking, going, wow, this is even a step up from like NRL crowds that I've seen. You know, they're just crazy fanatics.
It was funny because my little nephew, obviously Sam, he's playing at the Roosters, and Ben, before he left to go to the Roosters, he said, he said, Shane and Chris, he said, I want to take you out for dinner. He said, I want you to sit down and we're going to do some pros and cons with Sam before he heads down. So we gave him a little bit of an insight of what it's like.
Yeah, good.
You know, I mean, Sam got to experience a little bit, with me and Shane and Ben.
Definitely.
So it wasn't totally foreign to him. And I just remember talking about the haters. I said to him, there's the perks is good. It's unbelievable. Like you're going to have the next 15 to 20 years of your life is going to be a fucking ride.
Crazy.
I said, just buckle yourself up and get ready. I said, but on the flip side, you're going to get these fanatics who are going to come out and they're going to hammer you on social media. They're going to tell you you're useless, this, and this. And I remember sitting at the restaurant and I looked around. I happened to look around and there was this big fat mess sitting over eating a steak, and he had sauce dripped on him and whatnot. And I didn't know this bloke, so I pigeonholed him. I said, Sam, see that bloke over there? I said, if he walked over to you right now and told you you're useless, you're shit, you started hammering you while we're sitting here right now, I said, what would you do? Sam goes, I'd laugh at him. I said, so they're the blokes, they're the guys that are sitting on their couch, eating a pizza,
100%.
have never played rugby league, never ever got to that level. I said, they're the ones that are going to hammer you. So their opinions, who gives a flying F what they're,
100%.
what they're hammering you? And he had a bit of a laugh because he's a smart little fella. And he had a bit of a laugh. And I said, mate, they're the guys. They're the guys that sit there with their phone.
And the old keyboard warriors.
I'm doing these ones. I'm going to hammer Sam Walker today. You know what? I'm going to get out of bed today, and during the game, I'm going to hammer Sam Walker. So you're living rent free in their head all day.
They're already doing it. They're already thinking that already.
And he just laughed. He said, mate, they're the guys. So
he's a good young player at the moment too. So if he's had that input into him, he's definitely in the right track there.
Mate, I also told him the pros of the
the pros and the cons. We won't go into that. There might be children listening. Nah. But
we'll have to cut the swearing out too.
No. This is all unfiltered here, mate.
Yeah.
So you're in the Roosters. They lose the grand final that year.
Yeah, so we
2005, I think it was.
No, 2003 and 4.
3 and 4, yep. And then that year is when they sort of labelled you the bad boy of rugby league. For that instance with the Roosters was a altercation with police at a nightclub.
Yep.
Then what was the procedure after that? Obviously discipline
I was in Origin camp actually, and I got kicked out. I got capsicum sprayed in Origin camp.
Okay.
Yeah, so we had a bit of a team bonding session, and we were told not to go out.
Yeah.
After the session had finished, and there was about, I think curfew was like 1 o'clock, and mate, to this day, I won't mention names, but I ended up venturing out with about 7 current players.
Yeah.
But the thing is, they went home at 3-4 o'clock, and I end up stupidly. I had dinner with Anthony Minicello the other night, and we were talking about the video footage, the CCTV footage. I'm actually getting into a taxi about to go home, and then these 3 guys having a go at me on the way through, and then it pans around, takes a minute to pan around, then the next minute here I was in a scrap with them. So, I mean, those are little things that, you have a couple of slip-ups, which I did. I had a couple of behavioural problems. And that wasn't, my behavioural problems didn't start when I was playing football. I've always had those behavioural problems, even when I was at school. That's how come, my mum and dad had been very supportive, very tolerant with me because, man, I wasn't the easiest kid. I don't know what I was missing inside my brain, but I've always had those behavioural problems. I was labelled the bad boy of rugby league.
Yeah, bad boy rugby league. I think because that with the Roosters, obviously you went down to the Storm.
Yep.
And then
I got sacked from the Storm.
Sacked from the Storm for disciplinary reasons.
Yeah, well, mate, I was down here.
Under Bellamy, he probably wouldn't stand for any of that.
And that's the thing. Like, I held a grudge to Craig Bellamy for a long time about that because I thought that I didn't get the right support. Because I was, but I certainly did. I just chose to ignore it. I chose to go to the casino down here at the Crown, and I was hanging around with Brendan Vavola and all those. But not that they were a bad influence on me. But like I said, my behavioural problems were well before I started playing football. But I just remember. I just broke up with a girl that I'd left Brisbane for. I'd uprooted her my whole life. It didn't work out. So in my head, I was in a destructive mode. I didn't have the family support that I usually had, and I've always had all my life, whether it be from Ben, Shane and Luke or my parents, my mum and dad. Trish and Gaz. Good people. Awesome. Love the best. I didn't have that support. I just thought that I was down here by myself. Things outside of football with the breakup weren't going well. I was on the piss every single night. There was a game there where I missed because I was drunk.
True.
And that was the final straw for Craig Bellamy. There's certainly been a lot of things in my life that I'm not proud of.
100%.
But it's made me who I am today. And that's why, I've got a platform to start.
That's right.
A thing like
100%.
Fund My Challenge to help other people.
And that's what I say. When you're going through that, obviously the Storm, then you go to the Gold Coast. Obviously, injury again with the broken bone in the hand. And you have a spell.
Again, I get myself into a bit of trouble.
Kicked out of the bar with behavioural problems and all that. But then there's sort of the suffering of the alcoholism and the anxiety disorder. Obviously that's the straw that you go, right, did you get help after that, or was it sort of like more of these are my issues I've got, but I'll try and hide them and just continue on with my career? Or
well, see, what I was doing, I'm still fighting today. I'm 42 years of age. I'm still fighting that whole thing with anxiety. I certainly, it's not depression. It's definitely anxiety. Now I hate having anxiety, and it was I started having anxiety attacks when I started playing football. When I was dating, her and I were in the limelight all the time, and I found what I used to do, and I'm aware of it, but I still haven't controlled it. When I do go into a bar or a pub or a club or a restaurant, what I do is I get really anxious, and then I turn to the drink. So I start drinking. And usually, if I can contain it and I drink really slow, well then my anxieties just go away. You know, you get that Dutch courage, and nothing else matters. But what I used to find, what I'd do is, because my anxiety was taken over me a lot, is I'd walk into a restaurant or a bar or a pub, and I'd neck 6 straight away. And then because I'd neck 6, I was already well and truly on my way. And then I'd keep on drinking because I don't have a stop button. And I've got an addictive personality. So what I was doing is I was just doing that and then losing control. And I ended up spending 3 weeks in rehab.
Okay. You went to rehab.
As an inpatient when I was at the Titans. And I remember it was certainly an eye opener being in rehab. And Wayne, again, as soon as I got out after I finished my 3 weeks, Wayne rang me and said, "How was it?" And I said, "Well, Wayne, what I've realised that there are a lot of people out there a lot worse than me, and a lot more have a lot of deep-seated issues with their life. Like, but I had a very, very good upbringing. Very good upbringing. So, I can't. I'd never. I'd never blame my upbringing for my misfortunes or my behavioural problems. I just think that, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know what it is with me, but my 3 older brothers, they never get themselves into trouble. They call me the black sheep of the family, actually. So,
not the bad boy in NRL, but the bad boy of the family.
Yeah, bad boy of the family. But especially all my brothers, they just we all rally behind each other, and we got a very, very close-knit, tight-knit family, so I wouldn't have any other way.
It's a special thing, especially, with brothers, as I have my brother as a very special bond with him as well, so I definitely get that part of it as well. But then when you're at the Gold Coast, obviously you've come out of rehab, you're still playing for the Gold Coast Titans.
Score the first try and kick the first goal.
Done. And then you have another injury with ruptured Achilles.
Yes.
Twice in 1 year.
Yeah, twice in about 5 months.
Wow.
And I remember it happening. I remember the day it happened. Sorry. I hadn't, because what I used to do, because I had a really good fitness base, like like when I got fit, no one was fitter. Oh, they maybe one or two. We're all. I was in the top
level.
I was in the top 1 or 2 or even 3 fittest guys in the club. So what I used to do with my off season was my off season. So a lot of players, what they do is they'll finish the season. They'll have 2 or 3 weeks off. Then they'll start training. Just to get
the fitness
back up, so that way the first week of training, they're not killed. They're not killed. But what I used to do is I used to have 8 weeks off. And I used to drink piss, eat pizza, get fat, and whatnot. And then what used to happen with me after 1 week? I'd go from being last in the fat boys. To it was awesome, and this was what I always used to do. Is I'd go. Come last the fat boys for the first week, and then by the end of the second week, I was back up in the
high level.
High level, because my fitness would just come straight back really, really quick.
Naturally fit.
And then I remember when my Achilles ruptured the first time, we did a pre-season. It was our first day back at pre-season, the first week in November, and Billy Johnson was our trainer.
Oh, what a trainer he is there. When it comes to people and fitness. That dude was the next level. He wasn't even human, I don't think. I think the aliens dropped him on the earth and said, "You will just do fitness your life."
And God threw out the mold
100%.
when they got him going.
100%.
But I remember walking over to the training paddock because we're down in camp. It was the first day, and Billy used to always do a beep test.
Oh, God.
First day back.
First
to see where you were.
100%.
And I was walking over to the field, and Scott Sattler come over because Scott Sattler was a part of the coaching staff of the Gold Coast Titans at that time, and he walked over to me and sort of shuffled me away from the rest of the boys I was walking over with. He goes, Walks, he just want to let you know, he said, the coaches have all had a bet to see who's going to be the fittest.
Yeah, right.
See who's going to win the beep test. Wow. So the forwards had just gone. A couple of forwards had reached pretty high levels. Anyway, it was the backs go. we were second, and he walked over and he said it to me, and he goes, "Oh, Walks, I've put money on you. You're my runner."
You're like amped up. Oh,
so
now
I'm
all the pressure's on.
I'm fat as a mud. I'm fat as mud. Anyway, there was about, I think there was at the time there was about 15 backs.
Yeah,
and there was me, Scotty Prince, and one other. So there was 3 of us left.
Yep.
And I remember thinking to myself, I could just pull out now, but then what was resonating was Scott Sattler going, "I've backed you.
I've backed you.
Don't let me down."
Yeah, you can't let him down.
Anyway, so I just went. So I pushed myself, and then that other guy dropped out. So there was just Scotty Prince and I.
Yep.
And I've turned to push off at about, I think it was level 13 or 14.
Yeah.
And about three laps before that, I thought, I'll just pull out. But then I couldn't let Scotty down.
Yeah.
And so there was me and Scotty left. So we'd beaten the forwards. And I was like, right, and then I turned to push off and just went bang, snap.
Oh, wow.
Snapped my Achilles, and then I was coming back into rehab.
Yep.
4 months into rehab, I snapped it again. So I missed the entire 2008 season.
Yep.
So
was that the last season at the Gold Coast?
2009 was my last season, and then I went to Cattle and Dragons.
Cattle and Dragons. Because at first I remember you didn't want to leave the Gold Coast Titans.
Yep.
You're happy to stay there, but then you took a 2-year deal with the Cattle and Dragons.
Yes.
What was that experience like to go, right, now I'm going to England or Europe to play for the Cattle and Dragons?
It was awesome.
Yeah.
And the thing is, Courtney and I just had our first baby, Harper.
Okay, yeah,
so when we made the decision, Harper was about 1.5.
Yeah, okay.
And then her birthday's early on in the year, and then we left to sign a 2-year contract with the Cattle and Dragons.
Yep.
We flew over, and then 2 or 3 weeks when we landed, Courtney fell pregnant with the twins.
Oh, true that. Wow, that's crazy.
So, the twins were,
Were they born over there? Or
No, we ended up coming back here. So,
because you only done the 1 year of the contract?
We did the 1 year, yeah. So I was supposed to be there for 2, and then we got out because obviously Courtney was pregnant the whole time we're there. So it made it really difficult.
I was it wouldn't have been a very fun experience for her then.
No, it wasn't. So, and she needed that support by her mum and dad. So I just said to her, listen, football's there,
100%,
and I can come back, and I wanted to finish back in the NRL. So then I had.
So you come back 2011?
Yep,
to the Eels.
Parramatta Eels.
Oh, the old Parramatta Eels.
Mate, I played at more clubs than Slim Dusty.
I was going to say, mate, the list of NRL clubs. But in saying that, you've probably made so many associates and friends out of all the clubs you've been to too. So, but 2011 you're at the Eels, 6 games. Yeah, you're in, and then injuries, obviously.
Injuries, and then I retired. I retired with about 5 games to go.
I was going to say you went to the. It sort of got. It said that you went to the officials and said,
I'm done. I'm done. I had because what I did, I'd seen a lot of players, and I still see a lot of players today.
Yep.
They think that they're going to play until they're 45, and you know what? They think that when they're going to make they're going to make so much money when they're playing footy that they're going to finish, they're going to retire, they're going to live in a big house on the beach, and they're going to retire. It doesn't happen.
No.
So what I did, I saw really early on in my career about. When I was 26, 27, I just realised that I'm not going to play football for the rest of my life, and I'm not going to go out there and I'm not going to work for anyone else. So what I did is I made a decision in 2007 to look for an opportunity to start a business while I was playing football as my exit strategy from rugby league.
100%.
And the thing is, Rich, what these players don't understand is every single club, no matter who you play for, no matter if they're first to last, we have the most incredible sponsors. We have the most incredible guys, incredible businessmen that are involved in these clubs, right?
True.
And you know what? The reason why they're involved with clubs is because they love the clubs.
Yep.
And they love the players.
Players, definitely.
So if you take and I realise this early on in my career, if you take an interest in one or two of the sponsors, and obviously I used to take an interest in all of them because they're all good people. And that's what sponsors love the club. They love the players, and if you're a player and you take an interest in what they do,
they love the attention as well as from the players. Yeah,
and you know what they'll 10 times out of 10. I won't even question 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10, if they see these smart businesses, if they see these guys take an interest in business, and it might be what they do, but it might be something affiliated with what they need for their business. If there was a really successful guy who owned a grass.
Yeah.
Like a turf company.
Whatever.
Well, they'll need a lawnmower. They'll need someone to cut that lawn. They're not going to do it.
No.
But if you go, right, I'll start a lawnmower business, I'll do all your work.
Okay.
10 times out of 10, they're going to go, yep, we'll give you a leg up. We'll give you an understanding. So what I did is I found a turfing company that was involved with the Gold Coast Titans.
Okay,
I got my yard turfed.
Yep.
And still had to pay for it. But I said to him, what do you need? And he goes, mate, we need earth moving equipment. We need bobcats. We need tippers. So I went out, knew nothing about bobcats, knew nothing about tippers. Dad and Mum had the fuel run when I was playing footy. I knew a little bit about trucks. And so I went, you know what, I'll go buy you for your farm. I'll go buy an earth moving. I went and bought a posi track. So I went and got a loan, and I started an earth moving business before I'd finished playing football because I needed something
100%.
as an exit strategy. I needed that fall because a lot of players, when they finish playing football, they fall.
100%. There's a lot of players that just think, as you say, they're going to play football for the rest of their lives, but then when it comes to injury or they're old and they're getting contracts finished, then they're like,
I'm not going to get a job in the media.
But then you find, if you don't get a job in the media, but that's when a lot of them, sports people, it's a double-edged sword because they go into this part where there's no more crowds anymore. There's no more people coming
on the back,
giving you free things. You know, and the attention's not there anymore. Now they're sitting there by themselves going, wow, and that's where they go. Whether they go to the alcohol, whether they go to the drugs. The depression. You see so many sportsmen who don't think of an exit plan,
exit strategy, their life after football, their life after sport, not just football. But
with NRL these days should be. You'd think there'd be some sort of education around. Okay, guys, you're not going to play football the rest of the year.
Well, they've gotten better at it.
Are they? Okay.
They're getting better. When we come through, they started introducing all that sort of stuff. But I sat down with one of the CEOs of one of the clubs, one of the big clubs. This is going back 10 years ago when I retired, and I said, this is what I'm doing. You should do it for your young guys. So they implemented, sponsors nights where I'll tell you what players do. They train together. They play together, they eat together, they do everything together. They go to these sponsors' functions, and you know what they do? They all go sit in a corner together. Instead of networking the room. If you network the room,
100%.
Like you said, you find
opportunities.
And like I said, I'm going back to what I said before. These sponsors, they're involved with clubs because they love the club. And if you go around and you talk to them and you strike up a conversation and you network that room, it opens up
opportunities galore.
And these guys love it.
100%.
I know, like even I had mentors. I still have mentors that are worth hundreds of millions of dollars that I can ring and say, listen, I need some opinion on what I'm doing with business. Can you tell me? Can you show me?
Such a good.
It's a powerful thing.
100%. Knowledge is a very powerful thing to be able to approach business people who are already got that knowledge to pass it on, because that knowledge, if you get it, is for free. But it can set you up with a lot of different things.
100%.
So you finish in 2011 with the Eels. You have a few years off, 4 years off or 3 years off or whatever, and then the Ipswich Jets. Your brothers are coaching the Ipswich Jets at this time, so they call upon the great Walker. I think I just weaseled my way.
Weasel
back in. So you played for the Ipswich Jets. You only done the one, and you won the sort of the NRL. I think it was championship or NRL Cup. Something like that against Newcastle.
Yes. So, we won the comp. We beat the Townsville Blackhawks, who had, I think, in that grand final, I was out injured for the grand final. That's probably how come we won it. But I was out injured. But I think the Townsville Blackhawks, I think they had like 700 games of NRL experience.
Oh,
and
wow.
We had, and Ipswich Jets had 13 games amongst the whole team.
And they still won.
And we still won. And then we went down and we played in the national championship against the Newcastle Knights, your boys.
Yeah, not my boys, mate, but they're good. I mean, poor old Newcastle at the moment, they're gone. I don't know what's going on with them.
And then we went down, and I think they had about 1,000 games amongst their team, and we ended up beating them. We ended up actually playing a really good game, and that was before the Broncos played North Queensland in the NRL Grand Final.
Yeah, right.
So it
was like an NRL state championship or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, so we played the curtain raisers before the big dogs.
Right.
And it was good too because there were 2 Queensland teams in the grand final.
Yeah.
So it actually felt like our home game.
100%. Yeah.
And it was awesome. And that was my last ever game, so I went out a winner. So
beautiful. And you had the state of origin, obviously proud Queenslander. I love Queenslanders too. 2001, 2002, you played all 6 games.
Yep.
That experience at that level, that's a lot of obviously with young guys who get interviewed after State of Origin, you go, that's just on another level.
It's on another level. The week's on another level. Getting called up to play is on another level. I was
going to say that.
It is.
That's a proud moment when you're a Queenslander, especially NRL player at that level.
And all you want to do as a kid, all I ever wanted to do as a kid was play for Queensland. I didn't.
Yeah.
Like I never got to play for Australia.
Yeah.
But that doesn't bother me as much as if I got to play for Australia but never got to play for Queensland.
100%.
I'd be filthy.
Yeah.
But I'm so content.
Yeah, that's right.
With playing State of Origin.
Yeah.
I would. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Playing for your country would be
100%.
an honour, but playing for my state outweighs playing for Australia.
Even from a spectator's point of view, I feel, because the only real main 3 games I watch a year in NRL these days is Origin. And when you watch Origin, man, it's like you're that nervous the whole game, watching back and forward. The hits are so hard. The speed is so fast. And then when you get all the best of the State of Origin teams, they go into the Australian team and play another New Zealand or England. Where it just seems like the level goes down a little bit.
Does.
It's like, that's not as fast as crazy as what State of Origin is, you know.
And that's why State of Origin now has been around for 42 years.
Yeah.
And it will never go. And you know what? It is only getting better, faster, and more entertaining. Like that last game this year was incredible.
Wow.
Like
how physical was that?
Those boys, they're warriors. Like they
100%.
are they're modern day gladiators.
2 of the main players get knocked out in the first couple of minutes, and then you're thinking, how can we win this from here?
Yeah.
And then Benny Hunt, that last bit. Yeah. Oh, my God.
And it was so nice to see Ben Hunt.
100%, because he was so underestimated. I think he's been underestimated all his career. Like, he doesn't play a juniors game every single game.
Yeah.
But when he's in the big games and he needs to produce something, he is always the one that always, Ben Hunt, State of Origin, he's the big name up there.
Yeah.
Playing for St George or club level, Benny Hunt you hear every now and again.
The best thing for Queensland was Cam Munster being taken out with COVID on the Friday before, because what it did for the mindset of New South Wales, you could see him, they were like, oh, well, he's out, we've got this,
we have got this, we're going to take the shield.
Yeah, and I think that,
But how many over the years, how many times do you see, and I'm always a big believer, because the Queensland passion is saying this is where the big kerfuffle was with Johnsy and all that. The New South Wales, when they come into it, because they're always favourites, New South Wales.
Always. Why?
I don't know. I
don't care.
But that's what suits, I think, Queensland's passion, because they come in and go, well, they're already favourites. Every single game of every single year, New South Wales is favourites. And it seems to put them in a false sense of security that they've already won the Shield before they start the 3 games.
Well, I tell you what,
Fittler's been the best thing to happen for New South Wales in regards to doing old school stuff and bonding and all that, but it still doesn't take away from the spirit and the passion that Queensland, being the underdogs every single game, seem to produce. I don't know whether it's a magical.
If I was playing for New South Wales and it wouldn't sit well with me to be a favourite
all the time.
But I don't care.
No,
we win.
Well, Queensland don't care because they go, we love it like that. That's why we find the.
Maybe they should flip it. I don't know. Maybe the stupid journos who are back in New South Wales and put them at favourites.
Because New South Wales obviously is the NRL state. That's the football state. They'll never. I don't think ever. Queensland will be favourites for any series.
And they can keep it that way. I don't
100%.
care. I couldn't care less.
As a Queensland lover of Queenslanders, state of origin, I couldn't care less because every time you see New South Wales and they tick it off and go, we've got this one in the bag, and then you got 4 debutants in the Queensland side. Those debutants pull out the biggest games of their lives, and New South Wales sitting there go, what the hell just happened there? Yeah. Because it's the same mindset every single series. But
Rich,
I could sit here talking about State of Origin for 50-odd years, but I'm not.
I don't care. They can have it. 100%. They can be favourite for the rest of my life. I don't 100%.
care. But it's great to talk to, obviously, a State of Origin Queenslander champion. But so you finish all your career, your post-career, you say you're with the charity, Fund My Challenge is a big thing for you. You've done the walk. You know, the walk that obviously I watched a lot of from, was it Cairns? To the Gold Coast.
Walk from Cairns to Gold Coast.
How many days was that?
I was away for 71 days.
71 days, wow.
And I'll tell you what, it was the greatest experience of my life.
Yeah.
And I think probably the happiest person was my missus because I was away for 71 days. But the thing is, like, I did it last year, 2021.
Yeah.
Got the okay from our CEO who looks after everything to do the walk. So that was a big tick.
Yeah.
I had the most amazing team, my support team.
Yeah.
I had a local Ford dealership down at Brisbane supplied 3 cars.
Wow.
We got them all decked out. I had my father drove the front car.
Yeah, right.
We had Nate Miles as dad.
Yeah, right. I've seen Nate Miles do some mileage with you.
Milo, he drove the second car, and then we had another guy drive the back car.
Yeah, okay.
Big Will Van Os, mate. He was so good. Will
71 days.
Will's a truck driver.
Yeah. Okay.
So what we did is because he had the experience on the 2-ways and whatnot. We put him in the back car. So he'd just drop back. And he'd just talk to the big rigs coming through.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Right.
Listen, guys, you got to walk on the road.
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for him. But the best thing, after every day, Will used to come over to me and go, listen. He said, mate, because there are a lot of truck drivers that do the weekly commute from Brisbane and take
Cairns, Brisbane.
They do the run. So they'll either take produce to Cairns or whatever they're taking to Cairns and then bring back a load to Brisbane. So they're on the road every day.
Yeah, right.
So Will used to go walks, truck number whatever, come through. He goes, mate, keep on doing what you're doing, mate. Love it. Because what the truck drivers used to do is they'd drive up, and then the next week I'd be 200 k's more down the road. They're like, oh yeah, he's coming through. He's coming through Townsville, and then by the end of it, I'd be just getting honks from trucks that have seen me do the whole thing.
Yeah, wow.
And then people pulling over, people coming in, giving support. It was during the height of COVID.
Yeah.
When everything was doom and gloom. Everyone was in lockdown. North Queensland were walking around like
100%.
Like nothing changed. And you know what? No one spoke about COVID the whole trip until I got to Sunshine Coast.
Yeah.
Until I got into metropolitan areas, everyone starts freaking out about it.
That's the best thing about Queensland, the state of Queensland. Even with the fight promotions and everything, when we used to live on the Sunshine Coast, there is no rules up there.
No rules.
I loved it.
It's awesome.
And every time, then I come to New South Wales and Victoria, and it's like strict rules. You're locked up, and you're like, take me back to Queensland. Yeah.
It was like, I think we had 10 days of lockdown.
Well, they do call it the Cowboy State, don't they?
Yeah.
And hey,
the Sunshine State.
Yeah, 100% the Sunshine State. But in saying that, the walk was 71 days.
Yep.
You raised, 40,000 or something?
No, I raised 250,000.
Wow, that's crazy.
Grand,
I must have just seen you with a check for 30,000 for some reason. But
and then we donated to 4 different charities, so they all got their slice. So
wow,
it was awesome. It was probably one of the best things I've ever done in my life.
Yeah, so, and the people you would have met along the road would have been incredible.
Crazy.
Incredible. And then getting towards another experience you had, a near-death experience. After your fitness world, your rugby league world, everything else. Talk us through, because you nearly died was it in Cairns?
Townsville.
There was an experience where you nearly actually died. And I've obviously, because I've known you for a lot of years, but when that happened, it was the craziest thing. I thought, wow, you were very lucky you even survived.
Yeah. A week before Christmas last year.
Yep.
On the 17th of December, I was up obviously promoting the vodka.
Yep.
One of my good mates had a pop-up bar that he'd had the council approval to be there for 6 weeks. He ordered a shit ton of vodka off me.
Yep.
And went up and said, listen, mate, I'll come up for the opening weekend, you know, help promote the, you know, what you're doing, help promote our vodka, our brand. Mate, we're packing up, and the side of the shipping container actually fell on me and crushed my legs.
Was it the actual side, the whole side of it, or the door?
So what they do is they manufacture and they cut out sides of the shipping container.
Yeah.
Then they lower those down, and then they become the ramp into the bar. And there's a bar set up in the.
Oh, that's how.
Yeah, that's how. Wow. So it just come down on my legs, crushed my legs. And looking back on it now, I was actually talking to my missus before I went up, talking to Courtney about it. I said, listen, I'm going to take Chase up with me. So he would have been with me, and Chase is my little shadow. You know, he wasn't there. It's all his. It's all, you know, hypothetical. But I would have had Chase there. But I snapped both my legs. Compound fracture on my left leg, so bone, looking at your bone sticking out. Wasn't the greatest. My right tibia snapped, so I've got 2 rods going down my tibias now. I cracked my patella, and I found out about it must have been 2 months or 2.5 months after the accident happened. My knee kept on blowing out. My left knee kept on blowing up. And I went into my specialist and said, mate, listen, there's something going on here. He goes, it's from the cracked patella. There's a lot of fluid in there. I said, no, it doesn't feel right. And he goes, okay, we'll put you in for an MRI. And then I found out that I've done my ACL and I've done my meniscus now. So I've got to wait for the rods to come out, which will come out, I think, in January next year. And then I'll get a knee reconstruction.
Man, that would have been, especially coming from like the fit footballer.
And doing the walk.
And doing the walk for 70, 71 plus days, whatever it was, to then being hospitalised with 2 broken legs, rods in the legs. Mentally, man, that took you to some really dark places at that stage. That vodka would have been getting hammered.
No, it was good because I wasn't on the vodka. I wasn't having the vodka because I'm still, you know, it happened 9.5 months ago, and I'm still, you know, on painkillers and whatnot. You do, you know, there's for 7 days, you're not. For 7 days of a week, you're not 100% right for 7 days. You might have one day where you actually feel okay, and then you got 6 days where I'm in constant pain. So like sitting here now, like I can feel, I can feel my fractures and I can feel the pain. But Rich, again, in life, there are always someone else out there that are a lot worse off than you. So you try and you just try. I deal with it. Try and deal with it internally. There are some days where I'll talk to the missus. I'll talk to Courtney, and it'll be as frustrating as hell, and I'll have that dark conversation with her. Not that I'm going to kill myself. But,
no.
But you had that. And
you've got to talk about these things too. You know, because I mean, certain people have been in dark times, and myself has been there too. But I've always found personally in what I've gone through adversity, but talking about it. Sometimes you feel embarrassed about talking about certain things, but when you talk about it, it seems like a big relief off your chest. And
huge relief.
Huge relief, yeah.
And I remember even you know when Greenie and when Michael Purcell took their life a couple of weeks ago, I was having a really, really bad day on a Friday. So Greenie took his life on the Thursday. Mick took his life on the Sunday or the Saturday before. Anyway, I just remember having a really bad day because I was talking to a couple of Greenie's close mates, and I was at home by myself, and it really hit home for me. And I was on my way then down to Byron Bay to deliver some vodka to some venues that we've got down there. It's amazing when you do talk. When blokes talk. Because I rang Dan, my business partner, and I said, listen, mate, I'm having a bad day today. I said, I'm really down. I said, not that I'm going to do anything bad. I said, but I'm just having, I'm just not right in the head. And he goes, mate, you're not always right in the head. No, but we just sat there, and it took me 45 minutes to drive down to the Byron, and I was on the phone to him the whole time. When I got out of the car, and I was like, holy shit, that talk, it only took 40 minutes. I think I was on the phone to him for about half an hour. It's like, geez, I feel really good now. I feel good. I got it off my chest.
100%.
And Rich, this is what happens. This is what males, I'll go back to males, and males take their lives much more, the percentages of males taking their life to females is much higher. And I put it down to this, and this is only just me. This is not me. This is not anyone else giving me this information. This is what I've worked out. I've worked out that when women get together, they'll go to lunch, and they'll sit there and they'll talk about their problems. And 100%. You know what? The whole time they're at the lunch, or the whole time they're with each other, there'll be tears, there'll be laughter, there'll be everything in between. Yep. Because you know what? They'll talk about how bad their husbands are or boyfriends are, and they get off their chest. Yep. You know what boys do when they go to lunch or go to the pub with their boys? Yeah. They don't talk about their problems. But you know what it stems from? Yeah. It stems from at a young age. Like I grew up with 4 boys. Mum and Dad had 4 boys in the family. When one of us would fall down, and this is no gripe against my dad. Like would fall down, graze their knee, start crying. Dad would go, "Come on, toughen up. Boys don't cry." And I do this.
But it stems from that generational thing, doesn't it?
And it stems from males always thinking
that's right.
They've got to hide their emotion because at a young age, they were told by their parents, or their father, no fault of their upbringing, but it's just the male mindset. It's been going
100%.
But it was slowly changing because like I said, I've got twins, boy-girl twins. And I did this with my twins. When Chase would fall down, I'd walk over and go, "Get up, Chase. Boys, don't show your emotion. Don't cry. Boys don't cry. Get up. We're tough." But you know what? 2 minutes later, my daughter, which is his sister, he's 20 minutes older than, she'd fall over, graze her knee, start crying. You know what I'd do? I'd run straight over there and I'd pick her up. Come here, darling.
It's like our princesses, aren't they?
But then Chase, as my boy, he'd see that, what's Dad neglecting me for?
100%.
So now I always ask my kids when I'm home, I always ask my kids if I'm not away all the time. But I always try, if I'm away, I always try and ring my kids
definitely.
at night to say how you's going.
That's right.
But when I'm with them, I always ask how they're feeling. I always ask if they're sad, happy, or anything in between.
I've done the same with
because
my
I want to teach my young boy it's okay to talk about your emotions because you know what? Boys bottle it up and they fucking blow their head off.
Wouldn't it be nice to actually get through that message to guys in particular, like, because obviously we're guys, so we're sort of focused on the men, is to, when they are having a shit day or a down day, to ring up a friend, to ring up whoever and just go, "You know what, I'm having a crap day. This is what I'm going through." But the other person who's listening to sit there and listen to it. Because that's, when you're sitting there listening, even though you go, "Oh, I'm just listening to them blabber on," but you realistically, what you're doing is you're helping this person get through an episode of their life that could have saved their life.
Even if you don't say anything.
100%.
Just listen.
Just listen.
Just say, and you know what? I've started saying to my mates, "Love you, mate."
Yeah, 100%. I say
and
to a lot of...
It's not a fucking, I'm gay.
No.
And there's nothing wrong with that either.
No, 100%.
But some boys, like you hear women, you hear girls... always tell their friends, "I love you."
100%.
Whereas males, like, you say, "Oh, mate, love you."
Yeah.
And they what?
Yeah.
Did I hear right?
Yeah.
But
that's...
It's just in term of... It's just... and I'll tell you what else too, Rich. This is another thing. If you're having a bad day, give someone a compliment.
Yeah.
Out of the blue.
Yeah.
Might be someone giving you a coffee.
Yeah, 100%.
Have a taste and go, "That's really nice coffee."
Yeah.
Change your mindset.
You'll be surprised the positivity
on your own
that comes.
self. On your
100%.
own self. When you give someone a positive reinforcement, and you tell them that they've done a good job, it doesn't just go to their it doesn't help them mentally. It helps you mentally.
I do that. Yeah, I'm with you. I wish a lot of guys would sit there and talk about their feelings instead of going, "Oh, that's just nothing. That's bullshit. You shouldn't be doing that. You've got to be toughen up and strap." But that's the life we go through. But
it is the life, unfortunately. But it is changing.
Yeah,
the shift. There's a shift there that's shifting.
Yeah,
and males are talking. More males are talking. More males don't mind talking about it. Like, you get the guys like, "You're weak if you talk about your problems." Like, fuck off.
But if you're in a better place, then so be it for them. But mate, I want to thank you for the chat this morning, brother.
All good, brother.
It's been some great insights into your career and just in life in general, like football and post. So, and what if I had to say give you the last question in regards to what is Chris Walker's rich life, the thing that makes you totally happy, positive, and really loving your life these days throughout everything you've been through, what would you say it would be?
Oh, without one iota, without one doubt, is my family. Yeah. My 3 kids and my wife. and my brothers and my mum and dad and their families too. Like just family. Like I'm getting emotional.
Oh, hey, get this one on camera, please. Yeah.
No, it's like
100%. You can't beat it.
Building a vodka brand is awesome, is nice. Having Fund My Challenge as a passion project and seeing the lives that you change with this
100%
is my rich life.
Yeah.
But going home and talking to my kids and seeing them play sport, seeing them happy, seeing my wife happy, me being off the drink, that's my rich life.
Yeah, 100%.
Because the last 8 months or last 9 months, I'll finish with this. It has been a negative about my legs. But it's also taken me away from. It's taught me how to say no to people. Because I always wanted to please people.
Yes.
And you know what? Me pleasing people takes me away from my family. 100%. But the last 9 months, I haven't been away from my family.
Yeah, beautiful.
And my relationship with my kids is always here. It's through the roof.
So much stronger. Beautiful.
Cheers,
Thank you, legend.
Thank you.
You
done.
Thank you. The Rich Life Projects.